Tip number one is write often. The more you write, the better you write. You know, some people think that you'll get written out if you write too much, but that's exactly the opposite. You get better with practice. I can say this from experience because in 2012, I actually wrote, recorded, and released 12 CDs with 12 songs each on them. We commercially recorded and released a CD a month for 12 months. And it was really funny. The first CD or two came out pretty quick, and it seemed like it was going to be kind of easy. Then it seemed like it was getting harder, but the quality of my songwriting seemed to improve. And I didn't want to repeat myself, so I was always looking for something new and different and unusual to do. So I'd say tip number one, write often. There's a movie called Throw Mama from the Train, and it's about a writer, a novelist, who's actually teaching college now. And his tip is he'd always close each class with writers write always. Tip number two, and this varies with all different songwriters. If you're the type of songwriter that writes lyrics and music, knowing what works best for you and repeating that process. For instance, I personally like to write my lyrics first. I will often listen to a song, get inspiration from it, and try to write something lyrically that could almost be sung to the tune and the melody of that song. But then this is the important part, because I'm not trying to copy it or make a parody. What I'll do is I'll take all those lyrics that I wrote, maybe inspired by another song, and I'll put them away. And then I'll come back to them and I'll look at them, and there'll be songs that are all written in song format, but I've forgotten which song I was using to emulate the song structure. So then I can write brand new music and melodies for all of these lyrics that are done. And so find out what works best for you. Some people just naturally gravitate towards writing lyrics first. And if that works for you, I say stick with it. Some people like to do music first. If that works, stick with that. And then my third tip is basically ignore my last tip. Don't get too comfortable. Do get outside your comfort zone and try to do things that scare you. Try to push yourself. Try to find new keys, new chords, new chord progressions. And one thing that I really like to do, I guess maybe this is a bonus tip, is if you have a standard chord progression, let's say you're singing a melody and your melody goes from like a G to a C to a E, instead of just staying on the C chord, try to find other chords that you can sing those notes in but are totally different than the song. So for instance, if you were to go, let's say your notes are G, C, and E, and you're playing a song key of C major, why not go like G minor to to a C minor to an E major? The melody will work and the chords will sound very unusual, and that's kind of pushing yourself, getting out of your comfort zone. So there's my three best tips for songwriting. One, write often, write always. Just keep doing it every single day. Two, find the thing that you're most comfortable doing and do it to death. And three, get outside your comfort zone and push yourself. Hope you enjoyed those three tips.